Hello, family and friends. Thank you for joining me here today in whatever space, time, and location you are in. I greatly appreciate you. Today, we're going to be talking about a really important topic, and that's going to be how to grow physically, emotionally, and spiritually while we are in the city, matrix, society, Babylon, whatever you want to call it. It's going to be really hard in order for us to grow in all these three aspects with everything bombarding us. But it's possible, and here are a few ways in order for us to do that. So physically, we need to watch what we put inside of our bodies. This includes everything that we see with our eyes, the smells, and our environment around us. What are we putting our body through? And what are we consuming as well? What are we putting inside? Is it energetically alive or is it dead? And is it serving our highest good? So if you are on a different type of diet, or if you are a vegan, maybe going to the next level and being a raw vegan could be a really good way to grow physically. Or if you're still eating meat, maybe reducing that and going into pescatarian diet could really be beneficial on your body. We also need to move more. We need to be in nature. We need to actually run, jump, climb, swim. We need to do all these energetic activities for our body so it could be in good health for a long period of time and a good quality of life while we are still here. The third thing is going to be grounding ourselves. We really need to ground ourselves into nature and to who we are as well. So we can do this by getting bare feet into the soil, sand, or grass. And this is going to be very beneficial on our mind, body, and soul all together. But physically, we actually need to go out and do that. And for us city folk, it can be kind of hard or kind of uncomfortable to go out and put our feet into the grass or sand. But there are ways in order that you can ground yourself even if you live in an 18-story apartment. So this could be from getting silver clothing and having a cord to it that is connected to the electrical outlet in your house. And a great website that I personally buy off of is called No Choice, and they have EMF shielding and grounding materials. And this goes into my next topic of shielding ourselves. We need to shield ourselves EMFs and through all the chemicals that are happening around us. We need to make sure that we are breathing in good air and we are not polluting our body with all these electromagnetic frequencies. This goes into my next topic of shielding yourself of electromagnetic frequencies. And this could be from just turning your phone off of airplane mode or getting a silver box to put your Wi-Fi router in, or to just hardwire everything. Hardwire your laptop, hardwire your phone, hardwire everything in your house so you can mitigate those EMF symptoms and problems that are going to happen later on, or just for your peace of mind as well. And we can also do this by crystals, using certain types of crystals like black tourmaline, and we can also use plants like the snake plant, for example, and those also help with mitigating of EMFs. And next, we need to grow our own food. So no matter where we're at, we can grow our own food, such as microgreens inside, or herbs, or just really anything. And if you really can't grow your own food or don't want to, at least start learning the basics of how you would grow. And growing your own food doesn't really seem like it could benefit us physically, but when we put our mind to it, we physically see results. And that's why I put it in physical, because I know when I work on my yard, in my garden, I am really breaking a sweat. I am really into Mother Earth, and I am learning, I'm becoming one with the ground, with the soil, with the plants, and it's physically just euphoric. So I really thought that I could put that into the physical. And last but not least, in the physical aspect of things, we need to breathe, meditate, and do yoga. Now, this also encompasses everything to emotional and spiritual parts as well. But I think physically, we actually need to do these things. We have to physically breathe. We can't just say that we do. We have to physically meditate. We have to physically do yoga, which connects everything together. And these three are the really, really main hardest things to do, but they're the most beneficial, and it will get you to where you need to go. So if you take anything from this talk, just breathing, meditating are the key points to really elevating you physically, emotionally, and spiritually. So let's go into emotionally. How do we emotionally prepare? How do we emotionally elevate ourselves to the next level while we're still in the city? Having positive self-talk and self-affirmations, self-love could really go a long way into our emotional state, because I see, and I have also experienced, that I have a lot of negative type of indoctrinated ideas into my head that have been placed there since a young age, and it gets me into this pattern, into this loop that I really have to break out of. But the only way is to really go inside of our mind and fix these thoughts. And that also goes into behaviors as well. So that's why I put that up in the forefront, but also we have to focus on our emotions and our patterns. This goes on to the second thing of being aware of your own toxic patterns and traits. Now, this could be self-destructive patterns or self-hate patterns, whatever it is that is getting you into this loop, and we're pointing the finger at other people that they're to blame, and it's not me. Why am I getting all this bad luck? Why me? Why me? We always have a part to play. There's at least a 50% reason, contribution of us going in to this situation. So if you are in a circumstance or situation where it's just unfair, you're frustrated, you're blaming someone else, I guarantee that you have a part to play in why things are going bad, why things are the way that they are right now. So we need to look at ourselves and have some self-reflection, self-accountability, and self-responsibility in order to heal ourselves and to not be affected by the outside world. And the third thing is going to be writing a journal. And this is because we really need to start talking to ourselves again. We tell everyone else about how we feel and how our day is going, but yet we don't really take the time to talk to ourselves and see how we are doing and just have that self-talk, that self-dialogue with us. That's really going to be beneficial in our emotions. I find that it makes me feel that I'm not alone and that I have more strength than I thought I did, and it doesn't let me rely on other people. And it doesn't have to be a physical journal. You can also do voice memos or make a completely new Instagram that is just of your thoughts and what you want to say. It can look like so many different things, and I know you guys are really creative, so I'm sure you can find a way that you can self-express and just have it for yourself. It's an inner dialogue. That's really important emotionally. And so let's go into spiritually. How do we spiritually prepare while we are here in Babylon? We need to start asking ourselves these deep questions in life about who we are, what the truth is out there, and just everything. Because once we start asking these important questions, we can start to gain knowledge, gain truth, and see who we are in our environment, and so we can go and proceed then. Because if we don't know who we are and what we're doing and what our purpose is and what the truth is out there, then we're kind of just wandering. We're kind of just going with the flow of everything, right? But if we know who we are and we have the truth in our heart, then we're able to grow spiritually in that way. So I would say finding your role in life and finding your true purpose and your karma and your dharma will really be beneficial for you spiritually. And the second thing that is going to help you spiritually is to always be in gratitude. We have to always be in this thankfulness type of mindset, because that's going to get us to the next level. When we are mad, sad, anxious, frustrated, or any type of emotion, when we come back to gratitude, we really can take a step back and see what's going on. And this could be really helpful for us. I know it really works for me in any type of situation, because it really helps me ground myself again and kind of take myself out of this woe is me type of mentality and really see all the great things that I really do have. And this helps me just empower myself and to really push forward. The next spiritual thing that we need to do that can elevate ourselves is going back to meditation. So when we go back to meditation and not just clearing our mind and not having any thoughts, but to actually become aware of our thoughts and where these thoughts are stemming from and what they mean and why we're thinking these thoughts, really. This is the key to meditation. I don't believe that it's just quieting your mind. That's one aspect, of course, but it's also a deeper level of looking within yourself of what your brain, what your body, what your heart is really telling you here. And spiritually, we need to look at our attachments. So, what are we attached to? And this might go into physical as well, but I thought spiritually we need to look at our attachments. Because in the Four Truths of Buddhism, one of the first truths is life is suffering. But also the second truth is going to be life is suffering because of our attachments. So suffering comes from our attachments, and when we learn to let go of these attachments, can we really become free to be who we are, what we're meant to be, and it unclutters our mind and it gives us a sense of direction of where we need to go next. So I thought this was really helpful in our spiritual journey and our spiritual path. And this doesn't have to just be material. It can also be attachments to experiences or expectations or certain people. And this could really stumble and block us from going on to the next journey in our life. And last but not least, in order to grow spiritually, we need to develop a really good relationship with the ego. And I see a lot in the spiritual community that we talk about this, the ego needs to be eliminated. But once we eliminate the ego, it seems like another ego emerges, and that's the spiritual ego. And so eliminating that as well can be really difficult, but I don't think that we really need to eliminate the ego because it's here for a reason. Instead, we need to learn from it and see what it's telling us and develop a good relationship with it instead of just ignoring it, pushing it to the side. We need to actually see what its purpose is and what it's trying to tell us. So yeah, I think that these ways are going to be really helpful for us, especially those in the city, to elevate, to ascend, to go to the next level, whatever you want to call it. So I hope this was beneficial in any sort of way, and I greatly appreciate you being here. Thank you again.